welcome back to Untagged Podcast, where we give you the latest in equestrian chick-chat and small-town stories.
Today we're talking about our very own small town, known as Horsetown, USA.
Norco is known for its equestrian culture and rural lifestyle.
This episode will highlight some of the key landmarks in our very own hometown. We have got so many awesome things to talk about on today's podcast, and we're going to start with our first destination, which is a popular destination that a lot of Old Town Norco folks know. And what better person to talk about it than our own little Mel on
Ta-da!
the Pump House.
The what? The Powerhouse.
Oh, shit.
The Pump It!
The Pump House.
The Pump It
To
Up!
be fair, on the bluff side, there is actually a pump house. But it's
still
actually
there?
called, it is still there, but it actually is like a water pump. We say, hey, meet us by the pump house because that's where the water is at.
So, dude,
Pump it up.
Yeah.
I saw Pump House. I was
Pump it
reading
up.
it. I was like, why does this
I
say
know.
Pump House?
Me
And then I was
too.
like, oh, okay.
So tell us about this place.
Thank you for bringing this up, Mariko. I have my trusty dusty notes here. So, actually, I did some research on the Powerhouse. HiddenCalifornia.com supplied me with some bullet points on today's podcast. So, thank you very much for that. It was built in 1903 for hydroelectric power to supply to the towns of Riverside. And I didn't know that.
Riverside?
That's what it said.
Really?
Yes. It was a 6-mile channel to an 86-foot drop into generators, and that's how they made the hydroelectric power for the town.
Wow.
Is it was 6 miles of a channel.
For anyone that's like not been to Norco or been to the Powerhouse, like what does it look like?
It was an abandoned building, and it was 2 stories, but of course there was no entryway to the second story unless you climbed the wall.
Oh, yeah, there was a ladder, like a ladder up the wall that you had to climb and go up there.
Every inch of the building was covered in graffiti or paintball splatters or some type of tagging in a way from kids that went down there and just wanted to draw on it. It was just an abandoned building. Same thing as what, you know, the streets of LA would look like, you know, just all in one spot.
Were there any like contracted artists that like would go out there, you think?
I remember there being some pretty cool stuff up there.
There was pretty cool things, but I don't think that they were contracted to go and paint on it. Paint cans ourselves and like put our names on the wall and just added to it.
Just admitted on a public podcast that you tagged and you signed your name. Hi, I'm Mel.
It was
Savannah. I did this.
my alternative name. It wasn't my real name.
You had an alternative name?
I still do.
Still does.
What?
Ooh.
Can we say it?
Sure.
So it's Chops, your alter ego or your alter name?
It's like alter ego. Because a different side of me, I think, responds to that name.
You're like, I'm Mel, the accountant. And then when you're down at the Powerhouse doing graffiti, I'm Chops.
Period.
Okay, so then how do you get to the Powerhouse?
It was in the
it's down by
Riverbed.
It was down by the
Yeah,
Riverbed?
it was in between
Because
the Pedley entrance and the Hidden Valley entrance.
Okay.
Also on the HiddenCalifornia.com, I found that the man who founded the building was named William E. Pedley, which also is a street in Norco. So I don't know the relation on that, but I know that he founded the Powerhouse. He built it and owned it until bankruptcy took over because the power contract was voided by the county.
Wow.
It was abandoned in 1914 due to the overhead flooding causing water damage, and then led it to being demolished in 2021 after all those years.
So how long was it abandoned for?
2020 minus 1914.
Don't ask us to do math.
You're the one-
107 years.
107 years it was down there?
And they demolished
says.
it?
I mean,
it's
this
literally
town's
a
been
part of
around for a hot
Norco.
minute.
No,
You said it
no,
was
I'm just
founded
saying
in
like it was
1903.
107 years. Like why didn't they just leave it there? It was
It's
cool.
literally a part of Norco at that
Yeah.
point.
I mean, we've
Yeah.
been going to it for many years.
Seriously.
Why did they tear it down? Did they say why?
No.
Probably because it was a nuisance for all of the people that were going to the Powerhouse, graffitiing their names on the
I don't
wall.
remember it being
and
like
having
It wasn't that
fires
big of an
and
issue.
or anything like that. I
Mm-mm.
don't like when I went because I went for a photo shoot and I remember the photographer. He was not from over here and he was just like so in awe with it because at certain angles. I don't know if it was because they would take like BB guns and they would shoot the ceiling so it looked like stars. All this light would shine through from the ceiling. And
I don't know about BB guns, but I know what you're saying.
I don't know if it was BB guns or guns. It was just really pretty. Very artsy.
I feel like that would be really dangerous if they took like BB guns or actual guns and they like shot them into cement buildings. Like someone got shot for sure doing that, like in practice, just in general. Like maybe they took a drill or something. Like I don't know. But
Let's just get on this ladder and go drill holes in the roof. Per OSHA.
Per OSHA. That's one of the like first places that I adventured here in Norco.
And then to this day, like when we go ride down in the riverbed, it's not even there anymore. So people are like, "Oh, let's go by the powerhouse."
Where it used to be,
Well,
yeah.
I actually think that if you're riding in the Hidden Valley Nature Preserve, that there are actual trail signs that would lead you to the powerhouse.
I follow the power lines to the powerhouse.
Yeah.
However, I would like to add the powerhouse is no longer standing. It holds many memories and, special stories for a lot of us that have visited it and had, experiences there. And I hope that someday something else will take over its spot that gives other kids memories down there.
Raise your hand if you've peed in the powerhouse.
I never got to go to the powerhouse.
It's very
Such
I'm
a
actually
shame.
Very sad for you.
I know.
I know.
And
So-
honestly, talking about like the fact that it's gone actually makes me sad because the amount of memories that we have there is insane. Melanie let me borrow a pair of jeans one time.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I was walking down there, and I had my boots, my spurs on. And then I slid down the hill on accident, and there, spur went right into my ass.
Seriously, like
Ripped
spur
her
through the
pants.
butt cheeks.
Actually, I think I still have a tiny little scar.
Can you imagine if they were those spurs?
Jesus, it would have punctured. Like, actually, I had
In the
legit
butt.
cuts on my ass.
Yeah. She
was
pulled the rest
bad.
of her pants and I was like, "Do I have a cut?" And I was like, "Yes, yes, you do."
No, it's nothing.
No, it's not
I don't
that
see
bad.
nothing. You're fine.
You're fine. You're fine. I looked at Melanie. I was like, I think you got ripped your pants.
Face value, I was like, "Oh my gosh, are you okay?" And then deep down, I was like, "Dude, those were good pants."
You guys weren't on horseback?
Nope.
No. We went at night to have a bonfire there and burned all the tumbleweeds.
So what I think is crazy about this whole thing is that there is the person, Mr. Pedley,
Mr. Pedley.
Mr. Pedley, that owned or made this. And then you think about Pedley Street and then also Pedley Field. So I think we need to do more research on Mr. Pedley because I want to know who this man was. Was he like a founding father of Norco or what?
He's George Washington of Norco.
Hello, governor.
He's the
the
governor
mayor.
of
What if he
Norco.
For
was?
80-something years.
What if he was? I didn't do that much research. But
You got
Are
guns?
you the mayor? Hello, governor.
And for those of you that don't know, Norco is right along the Santa Ana Riverbed. And that riverbed has constant change, constant movement. So anytime we get a rain, like this last rain we had, 2 inches of rain, 3 inches of rain, that will take out a whole area. So I would actually, and the water seeps up
It
from
takes
underneath
out
the
a
ground.
whole area and creates a whole bunch of quicksand.
Yeah,
quicksand.
quicksand.
Which brings us to our next topic, which is Savannah's going to cover. A lot of people come to this town to ride here often, which is in our Santa Ana Riverbed in the Hidden Valley Nature Preserves.
I love riding down in the riverbed. It's like, it feels like you're riding in a forest. His favorite part is going in the water, though. Crossing the water on Rebel is just, it's awesome. There's like so many different trails down there, so if you don't know your way down there, it is really easy to get lost. I've actually got lost down there with my uncle quite recently, actually, and he actually ended up falling in the water because we found a quicksand spot. So,
That terrifies me so much.
well,
Super
luckily they
scary.
both got up right away and like were able to get up and walk away, but I was ponying their baby horse, so I was like, I'm not stopping because if Rebel lays down, we're screwed because
Every man
again,
for himself.
I'm like, again, my horse
Like
thinks he's a
deuces.
fish.
Outside of the river crossings, what do the river trails look like?
It's different. It's just, you wouldn't think that that's here in Norco because it looks like I'm somewhere off in the forest or something.
I had pictures and it looked like tunnels.
Yeah,
It
Yeah.
was like
literally looks like you're
perfect
walking through tunnels.
And they're gone now.
Has anybody
Because they groom them.
me and my mom, we went to the horseback riding place right there in California, It took us on a trail ride down to the riverbed, and one of the things that I remember and I will never forget is when we walked through, it was literally like if we were walking through, like, it was just looked like all bamboo. Like, it was crazy. I was like, where are we right now?
It did. It looked like a fairy tale.
Yeah,
It does.
Yeah.
Have you ever walked through the riverbed and when it's full tunnel-esque, it gets really cold?
Yeah.
And then you
Yes.
finish walking through it and you're like, oh my gosh, it's summer outside, but it got
Yes.
super chilly inside there.
That's how your side is. It's like it's colder over there.
We do, yeah. So on the riverbed on my side, it's like we still have all those old tunnels. So all of that old bamboo is like still there. They tried clearing it out a while ago, but it just grew back so fast. I think what's exciting for me, or my favorite memory of the riverbed, was that when I was younger, I used to come to Norco, and off of, I think it was Limonite, right by the freeway, there was a place called River Trails Riding Stables. And it was a little stable that was right on the riverbed, like underneath the freeway right there. And they were $20 for an hour or $40 for 3. And their hours were from 8 a.m. to 4 a.m. Yes.
Inflation really hit us.
Yeah. So my friends and I would always go, like after prom, we'd be like, let's go horseback riding, or after
Middle of the night.
riding. Yeah. And it was at night. But like the guys that owned it, it was like, they would always be excited that me and my girlfriends would be coming down and be like, yeah, we want to ride horses.
Heck yeah, they're like, we're making money and we get to hang out with these girls. Yeah.
So the first time that we went, they were like, hey, we're going to take you out for the first 15 minutes. So for the first 15 minutes, we'll get you out. We'll get you to the river. And then there was like some Australian guy that was like the leader. And he was like, go 15 kilometers southeast towards that tunnel across the river. And we're like,
We'll meet you there.
yes.
Yeah. And you just like take off on this horse and you're like, where the are we going?
The horses only wanted to come back. What they were doing, because out for the first 15 minutes, you try and struggle with your horse. These horses know exactly where they're going.
Yeah.
They take you for one short loop, and then you're like fighting them coming home.
It's like homing pigeons.
Oh, totally. They are. Yeah. So then as we started coming more and we started making friends with the staff, they would like leave beer for us in the river. So when
That's
we
so
would come,
funny.
they would leave like beer tied up, like a couple like little coolers in there for us.
That's fun.
We used to come dressed up like cowboys and Indians
That's
and
awesome.
like just go like raging through the riverbed. That's like my favorite memory of riding in the riverbed. And I'm actually really sad that the river flooded out. It took out the entire barn and they never recovered.
I feel like the best
So-
memories are always the most reckless and you kind of regret them later on in life, but you're like, you know what? It was so worth it.
Yes.
I was in the riverbed not that long ago when I was drinking, and we all get off to go pee, and then like we started wrestling in the sand. I don't know how. When I got home, I found like spiders on me that I
Oh,
brought back
no.
from over there, and they were like these
no.
big giant spiders. Oh man! So
Like
I
a
don't.
lot?
Yeah,
I
there
would
was like
cry.
3 of them.
Like hang on to your body.
I mean, I guess they were in my clothes. I'm glad. Luckily, I didn't get bit,
Ooh.
but.
So when we ride on our side, because we still have all that covering, we have like a stick that whoever's in front, you like ride with a stick and you have to go like this.
Huzzah!
Yeah. So
Huzzah!
you're like waving the stick around your face.
Hooray!
Exactly. And it's because if you get hit, the spiders are like huge. They're big, they're colorful,
Nope.
they're ugly.
Nope.
And then it's like
They're like this big.
they're big spiders. Huge spiders. So
And they're like brown and hairy.
yeah. We
Yeah.
also have on our side of the riverbed, we still have a lot of hogs. Have you guys ever run into hogs down
I
in the
have
river?
When I was
not.
I
younger,
have
did.
not. I ran into coyotes down there, but never a hog.
I still see the
I
coyotes,
was
but
say, last time I went down there, there was a coyote, but on the side where Rebel couldn't see him, and he jumped so high up. I was like, "What are you doing?"
you think they could smell them?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
100%
probably.
yes. Every time
But the coyotes are scared of the horses.
they are, but I think that some of them are pretty bold too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We saw one the other day when we were.
We did.
It was
we
like
saw when
chasing
we
a
were
bunny
on-
or something.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a big dog too. I mean, it was big coyote. So,
That's
I
a
want you
bad vision.
guys to envision, think about this. You're in the Santa Ana Riverbed.
Imagination.
It's a night ride. Riding on the trails in the riverbed.
Okay.
And you're getting ready to cross. and you see someone pop out of the bushes. Do you run at it towards your horse, or do you run home? Or do you say, what are you doing out here?
No, because they probably live there.
I'd be like, just
In Southern California,
Excuse
they
me?
live there.
passing through. Have a good night.
Okay, I'm just going to throw this out there that if I saw someone in the middle of the night while I was riding on my horse in the riverbed, I would straight up turn around and start running the other direction. I would not mess around with that. I don't care whether they are homeless or not homeless, girl. If I see a rando, I am leaving that situation.
Stranger danger!
That's why if you're going late at night, you gotta go with someone that's packing.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that, or are you gonna go?
Yeah.
Hey, what are
I'm
you
not
doing
gonna
here? And then if
when
they
I go with my girlfriends, all
Yeah.
the girls are like licensed carriers, and they all everybody's packing.
I'm not
period.
gonna lie, I genuinely think the rebel would probably kick somebody behind him. Like if he was scared, like couldn't see him, get kicked.
I wonder if you could go underneath the pass from like Silver Lakes.
I was wondering that same thing. I feel like it's like dangerous right there though, or something.
It probably really is.
So right underneath the pass where Silver Lakes is at is where the barn
Which is
used
the
to be.
15 freeway.
Oh,
Which was the barn that got taken out by the river and flooded out the entire place.
interesting.
So in one of our reels, we will take you guys for a little tour on our riverbed, and you guys can see what we're talking about with all these amazing tunnels and the sand and how it just feels like wilderness coming out of that.
That concludes our 5th episode. We just wanted to bring you guys a little into our world and share a couple of our landmarks and what we think makes Norco special.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. All right, girls, let's cinch this up.
Thank you guys for watching our 5th episode of Untagged Podcast. Make sure you give us a like, comment, and subscribe.
We hope you guys enjoyed our tour of Norco's most famous landmarks.
Keep it classy, sassy, and a little bit badassy. And please make sure to clean your tag.
So we're done with the pump house. So
The Powerhouse.
the pump house, the powerhouse. It will
And
never be the
the pump.
powerhouse. It'll be the pump
Power.
house. Pump it out.
No,
Pump it
it's
up.
The
The
Powerhouse.
Bump it up.
So freaking yummy. Okay. Well, let me look at your x-rays from the PPE when you got her. And he's like, the thing that they told you to be worried about.
We love. Kyle likes pizza fans.
I think it's really good.
I told you that too. I'm just really scared.
Which one?
And I was like,
I think you guys are hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
The White Claw baby?
what?
Yeah. Sydney's, yeah. When I went in to get pregnant with Sid, we had gone in to do IVF, do the insemination. I have pictures of her in a tube.
Do you guys get to... Sorry, I'm going to interrupt
You get to pick a girl or boy.
No.
No.
Really?
Not in this process. So do that, but that's when you do IVF. We're putting the sperm inside of this thing, like they do with horses, and they just shoot the sperm up inside of you, not the egg.
Oh.
And then, so it'd be like live. It would be like live cover with horses, as opposed to like picking an egg and putting the egg in, and then having it grow.
It'd be like artificial insemination where they collect the sperm and then you ship it to the mare.
Correct.
Then the mare decides
Yes.
bull or colt or filly.
Yes. Yes.
But
Yes. Yes.
artif-
Then
Why do we make everything about horses?
I know. So
I was just about to say that. I like how
we all do
I like how she had to
everything.
Yeah.
explain that in horses
I
for
know.
us to understand that.